What is beauty? We see it in people, in landscapes, in experiences. But what exactly is it?
What is beauty? This is one of those profound questions that perhaps cannot be answered, like what is love or what is the meaning of life? For me, beauty is something about animals, that animals alone possess the ability to perceive appearances or hear sounds that affects them in a particular way. We call that feeling of delighted, happy perception, of elation or whatever. We call that beauty, but it's simply a vague name for the ability of animals, particularly those with color vision, to perceive different appearances in the natural world. Darwin explains his theory of beauty, particularly in his book, The Descent of Man, which is really two books. It's misleadingly titled The Descent of Man because only about a third of it is about human evolution. The other 2/3 of the book is about his theory of sexual selection, in which he wanted to demonstrate that animals have the power of choice based on a sense of beauty. So female birds choose the males they find most beautiful. And that also this same power of selection is found in insects and other creatures throughout the animal world. And he included humans in that as well. Charles Darwin was the first person to propose that animals can appreciate beauty at all. Before Darwin, people thought that animals were like robots. They simply behave. They don't think and perceive, and they certainly cannot perceive beauty. This was considered to be one of those things that make human beings unique. But according to Darwin, there are so many beautiful structures on animals that have no function, that the only way that they could be explained was that the animals themselves could see and perceive these things as beautiful. And the most famous example are birds, like the peacock. Why does the peacock have such a beautiful tail? After all, it's a hindrance. It makes it heavier, it's harder for them to fly, they're more obvious to predators. The answer for Darwin was that they impress females. And of course, anyone who's ever watched peacocks walking around, the males are constantly unfolding their tails and thrusting them in the face of females, showing off again and again and again, trying to impress them. And it's so through the process of females choosing which ones they find the most beautiful or the most impressive, those are the ones that they choose to mate with. And so over time, they shape the species. They change it. They make it into something that female peahens find beautiful, and coincidentally, something that we find beautiful. The shapes of our bodies have been shaped by sexual choice, by both males and females. One of the most obvious differences, of course, are human breasts. Human breasts are not needed to produce milk, and so, their large size is not needed. Why do they exist like that? It's because our very, very ancient ancestors preferred that, and so that has become a more prominent feature in our species. So what has happened over the millions of years is that our appearance and our shape has become radically changed through sexual choice. So we have bred ourselves. We have changed ourselves. So that the way men and women look today, if you could transport us back 500,000 years, we would probably be seen as the most stunning objects on Earth. Probably, perhaps. Because they were just beginning to choose the things that they preferred that gradually led to us. Similarly, if you could bring back one of those creatures from 500,000 years ago to today, we would all find them hideously ugly because they would be very different from our sense of the beautiful.